Toyota Aygo was an instant hit with the Irish market when it was launched in 2005. With the cost of motoring rising, this new breed of tiny green city car made perfect financial sense to city dwellers and suburbanites who just needed a small, cheap runabout to get from A to B. In an effort to cut costs even further, Toyota teamed up with Citroën and Peugeot and together produced three practically identical cars in the C1, the 108 and the Aygo. They then added some minor styling changes and went after their respective market shares on pretty much their badge appeal alone. The problem, however, with being part of a SIB set like this one is that the product can feel slightly anonymous and maybe even a little bit boring. But Toyota wisely decided that if they're going to be the most expensive of the three, they need to offer something a bit different in the design stakes. And that is exactly what they've done with this generation, literally marking the Aygo out from the crowd by splashing a huge X across the front. And love it or hate it, it's undeniably striking. Following the example of the Opel Adam, pretty much everything is customisable too, so you can choose the colour of your X, rear diffuser and interior trim, so there's plenty of room to put the I in your Aygo. The improvements aren't just cosmetic, but enhancements made to the existing reliable 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine, which they now claim can reach the dizzying height of 69 miles to the gallon, which actually matches the figures of the short-lived diesel version available on its first release. It's still the only engine available, but more than capable of what the Aygo is designed for. It feels exactly like a city car should to drive. It's light and nimble, that fizzy little engine offering just enough pep for zipping about town, and then it has all the other benefits of a city car too, like the featherlight steering and a tiny turning circle, which means that you should never find a parking spot too small. That's all well and good, but the one place you don't want a car to be small is in the cabin, and in fairness it's not too bad in here. The boot is now 29 litres larger, and by lowering the front seats and adjusting the roof, it's gained an extra couple of centimetres in headroom. Now I realise I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I have at least another 6 or 7 inches on top of my 5'6". There's a nice bit of shoulder room, and while you wouldn't call it spacious, it's certainly not cramped. The back then is exactly what you sign up for with a city car, in that children are going to be a lot happier back there than adults, and the absence of a third seatbelt makes it strictly a 4-seater. But Isofix fittings for car seats do make it a viable option for small families, as well as a 5-door option to make it easier to get them in and out. It got 4 out of 5 stars on the NCAP safety tests, and the inclusion of things like a speed limiter and lane departure warning as standard features makes it one of the more generously equipped city cars on the market when it comes to safety kit. For such a compact space, they've made good use of the room available, with plenty of storage areas to keep the cabin nice and tidy and a nice clean layout to the interior overall. I particularly like the old school speedometer, very mini-esque, and also how simple this centre console is. So that's the practicalities covered. Now we're going to have a look at what there is to play with, and more importantly what it's going to cost you. The standard equipment on the entry-level X-Play model is generous, and starting at €13,360 includes things like 15-inch alloy wheels, Bluetooth and a leather steering wheel. But we still think it's worth upgrading into this well-spec'd X-Play Plus model, which adds some really nice features like a reversing camera, air conditioning and this 7-inch touchscreen multimedia system. That comes in at a little over €14,500 for the 3-door and a little under €15,000 for the 5-door. It's an impressive amount of car for the price tag, and in a fiercely competitive segment, the Aygo tops the class in just enough areas to make it stand out from the crowd, with or without that big X on the front. You can check it out for yourself at your local Toyota dealer, details of which you'll find on CarsIreland.ie.